You had a song early in your career that was just, I mean, it's iconic, extraordinary success. What was that like for you, having one of your early songs take off in that way?
I was doing a lot of spiritual practice at that time of my life. Before that first album came out, I'd met a meditation master. So I had a lot of tools, you could say, and my perspective on who I am and what's important, being that I was famous young, and then, dove deep into this Eastern philosophy and spirituality and meditation. So I had these really good tools for becoming mega famous again overnight with this song, which was, this is not me. I'm not what I do. Like, who I am is not what I do. I'm not the voice in my head, which for some people, they can't even wrap their head around that. So, that's a big one. I know that the periods of my life where that practice is in place, everything's a bit easier. We're all connected, I think that's the truth, which even that one some people struggle with. But that's my personal belief. I think that makes everything easier. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be doing the Guru Gita for an hour and a half every day like I was. I mean, I went hardcore. I did a month silence once. What are you going to do with this experience? Keep your feet planted on the ground. I used those tools to be able to cope with that. And it's transient. I mean, I'd been famous and then not famous. And so once you go through the rhythm of that, you have no attachment to that. You don't define that as meaning anything.
Dealt with being in the public eye, the pressures of being famous and people knowing who you are and thinking they know you when they don't and all of that stuff. So any kind of resentment or bitterness I had about these things, I got it out of my system. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't work for 2 years and nobody bugged me and I had no money. Right. So I was really lucky to have had it and then lost it. Mm-hmm. and been able to come back into the industry wanting to do it with no bitterness,
I don't place any importance on those things, and I was able to value the good parts of it. It's true to say there have been the periods of my life where I've been the most successful and I've had more money than I have now, and I have been unhappy. I think something I've learned is the more you have doesn't mean, the happier you are, or it just more things mean more problems and more things to manage. It's easy to sit there and kind of tell somebody else about that when they haven't had the chance to experience that. All I know is that because I've been blessed to have some of those opportunities, the gift of that is I don't need those things. And living simply, there's a lot to be said for it. There's a lot to be said for it because it frees up a lot of space to do things that do make you happy.
If you could speak directly to somebody who's struggling with their confidence, what would you say to them?
I would say you're not the thoughts in your head. They're just thoughts. And you can make up new ones. Do something with your hands. Go outside, walk, exercise. The thing is, the mind's nature is to turn in on itself. And if you just let it run away with itself, it'll drive you mad. So this is a work in progress. This is not something you just overcome. You have to find tools, whether it's meditation, whether it's writing down negative thought patterns and creating more positive ones. It's just finding ways to work with the mind. The mind can be a great help if you can figure out ways to stop it taking over. First and foremost, you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't have that fire, nobody else is going to believe in you or buy into that either. My mum's the one that taught me never give up. My mum was really tough, but children love a boundary, and I think it's something that's really stayed with me. So when things are really hard, I don't quit. But if there's a moment where I'm truly lost, it's a courageous step to say, I'm going to walk away. So it's just checking in with yourself. And I think we know when we're just being scared, and we know when it's like, no, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing or what I want. You just never know what is around the corner when you make these changes. We all get so scared to make a change. And beautiful things happen when you liberate yourself to let go of everything and go, well, I'll just quit music. It still found its way back to me. And I'm sitting here now with this album that's like the best work I've ever done, that I'm so incredibly proud of. I don't care what anyone thinks. I would never have thought I could be sat here now confidently with this body of work. No way. It didn't seem possible, but it was the courageous step to accept that I didn't know what I wanted to do, and to, I did other things. And it's okay to have periods where you're just living. I think we're in a world where it's like, do, create, and it's like, well, not everybody is built that way. Some of us move a bit slower. We're a bit more fragile. It's not about the amount that you do. It's just about the care that you take with what you do, I think. I got dropped by a label, an album got shelved. I never really understood why, or it was never explained to me. Sometimes you just think the universe is trying to tell you something. You're working really hard and it's just not working. It's just not working. So it's not about quitting. It's about realizing that you don't know.
Who or what is your greatest inspiration in your life?
I don't think it's any person in particular. I think people are my inspiration, and probably the underdog, I like seeing people kind of struggle and come through difficulties, and that kind of thing really inspires me. So probably the underdog.
Natalie, what's the legacy you hope to leave behind?
I'd like just to be known for someone who was wholly who they are and, honest in their truth about it, through my art, I could say. That would be nice. So I really hope that for anyone who gets the chance to listen to Firebird, it's dealing with, I guess, finding your independence and, finding the balance between your strength and fragility, and perhaps finding your strength in your fragility. And I hope that there's also some songs there to dance to. So I hope for anyone out there that gets a chance to hear it, that it makes you happy.